People only celebrate your success when it inspires them, but the moment it makes them feel smaller, insecure, or replaceable, everything changes. That's the truth nobody warns you about. Success doesn't just change your lifestyle. It changes human behavior around you. The same people who once ignored your dreams suddenly start watching your every move. The same friends who laughed at your ambitions begin acting differently. Some become distant. Some become jealous. Some pretend to support you while secretly hoping you fail. And the terrifying part is, most people don't realize this transformation is happening until success has already exposed the true psychology of everyone around them. Tonight, you're going to understand one of the darkest truths about human nature: why people change after success. Because once you understand the psychology behind status, envy, attention, insecurity, and human ego, you will never look at relationships the same way again. Human beings are deeply emotional creatures, but most emotions are hidden beneath social masks. In everyday life, people pretend to be supportive, loyal, and happy for others. But psychology reveals something disturbing about the human mind. People naturally compare themselves to those around them. Your success becomes a mirror reflecting their own insecurities, failures, missed opportunities, and unrealized potential. And for emotionally insecure individuals, this comparison creates internal discomfort. Psychologists call this social comparison theory. Human beings constantly measure their value by comparing themselves to others. So when someone close to them suddenly becomes successful, wealthy, confident, admired, or respected, it unconsciously threatens their self-image. Instead of feeling inspired, many people begin feeling inferior. This is why success often exposes hidden jealousy. Jealousy is one of the most misunderstood emotions in human psychology because people rarely admit they feel it. Most individuals believe jealousy only appears when someone wants what another person has. But real jealousy is deeper than that. It appears when another person's success forces someone to confront the painful reality of their own stagnation. Your growth becomes evidence of their lack of growth. Your discipline exposes their excuses. Your confidence exposes their insecurity. And because the human ego hates feeling inferior, many people unconsciously change their behavior towards successful individuals. At first, the change is subtle. Conversations become colder. Support becomes less genuine. Compliments start sounding forced. Some people stop reaching out entirely. Others begin criticizing things they once admired about you. But psychologically, this behavior often has nothing to do with hatred. It comes from emotional discomfort. Success changes the power dynamic between people. Human relationships are heavily influenced by perceived status, even when nobody openly admits it. The moment someone feels left behind emotionally, financially, socially, or psychologically, the relationship starts changing beneath the surface. One of the darkest truths about success is that people often love the version of you that felt equal to them. When you struggled, failed, doubted yourself, or stayed average, you made others feel comfortable. Your limitations protected their ego because your life reflected their own reality. But once you begin evolving, improving, or succeeding, your existence becomes psychologically threatening. Suddenly, your presence reminds people of what they could have become if they had taken risks, worked harder, or believed in themselves. And unfortunately, many individuals would rather distance themselves from successful people than confront their own unrealized potential. There's also another painful psychological reality. Some people only support dreams when they seem impossible. As long as your success feels unrealistic, supporting you costs them nothing emotionally. They can encourage you without feeling threatened because deep down they never truly believe you'll succeed. But the moment your dreams become reality, everything changes. Now your success is real, tangible, visible, and visibility activates comparison. This is why some people cheer for you in the beginning but disappear once you actually start winning. Success also changes the way people perceive your value. Human beings are naturally drawn towards status, power, confidence, and influence. Psychology repeatedly shows that people treat successful individuals differently because success signals competence and social value. This is why people suddenly become nicer after someone gains wealth, popularity, beauty, or recognition. The same person who once felt invisible may suddenly receive attention, admiration, romantic interest, and respect. But this creates another disturbing realization. Much of human behavior is conditional. Many people are not loyal to individuals. They are loyal to perceived value. And this truth becomes emotionally painful because success forces you to question the authenticity of relationships. You start wondering whether people genuinely care about you or simply care about what your success provides. Attention, status, opportunities, connections, validation. Human beings are naturally attracted to environments that emotionally benefit them. This is why successful people often struggle with trust. Once success changes the way others treat you, it becomes difficult to know who truly values you beyond your achievements. Psychology also reveals that success changes your own behavior, often without you realizing it. Confidence changes body language. Financial freedom changes decision-making. Emotional independence changes relationship standards. The more successful someone becomes, the less emotional tolerance they often have for negativity, manipulation, or low-value environments. This creates distance between them and people from their past. Not because success made them arrogant, but because growth changed their mindset. And unfortunately, people who remain mentally stagnant often interpret personal growth as betrayal. There's another terrifying aspect of success nobody talks about. The higher someone rises, the lonelier life often becomes. Most people imagine success brings endless happiness, admiration, and connection. But psychologically, success can create emotional isolation. Why? Because success changes social dynamics. Some people envy you. Some fear you. Some only approach you for personal gain. Others assume you no longer need emotional support because your external life appears perfect. The result is emotional loneliness hidden beneath visible achievement. This is one reason many successful individuals struggle silently. Society teaches people to admire success, not understand the emotional pressure that comes with it. Successful people often feel trapped between public expectations and private emotional exhaustion. They become symbols rather than human beings. Everyone notices the achievements, but few understand the sacrifices, stress, anxiety, and emotional weight behind them. Another disturbing psychological truth is that success magnifies personality traits already hidden inside people. Insecure people become more jealous. Manipulative people become more opportunistic. Loyal people become more supportive. Fake people become more obvious. Success acts like emotional pressure, revealing who people truly are beneath social masks. This is why many individuals say success changed their friendships. In reality, success often reveals the truth that was always there. Human beings are also deeply influenced by perceived hierarchy. Even among friends, there are invisible status structures shaping behavior. When one person suddenly becomes more successful than others, these emotional hierarchies shift, and the human ego struggles with changing power dynamics. Some people unconsciously feel less important around successful individuals because status affects self-esteem. This is why certain friendships become awkward after one person becomes financially successful, physically attractive, socially admired, or professionally accomplished. There's also the psychology of accessibility. Before success, people often feel emotionally equal to you. But once success creates social distance, your attention becomes psychologically more valuable. Scarcity increases perceived worth. The less accessible someone becomes, the more people desire their time, validation, and approval. This is why individuals who ignored you before success may suddenly seek your attention afterward. Human beings naturally desire what appears valuable, rare, or socially elevated. Social media has amplified this psychological phenomenon to dangerous levels. Modern society constantly displays curated images of wealth, beauty, luxury, influence, and achievement. This creates endless comparison. People begin measuring their self-worth against unrealistic standards. And when someone from their own social circle becomes visibly successful, the comparison feels even more personal. Instead of being inspired, many individuals feel emotionally attacked by another person's growth because it forces them to confront dissatisfaction within themselves. But maybe the most painful part of success is realizing that some people secretly preferred the broken version of you. They liked you when you lacked confidence. They felt comfortable when you doubted yourself. They enjoyed being needed emotionally. But success creates independence, and independence changes relationship dynamics. Once you no longer rely on certain people emotionally, financially, or psychologically, they lose the sense of control or importance they once had in your life. This is why some relationships collapse after personal growth. Another reason people change after success is projection psychology. Human beings often project negative assumptions onto successful individuals. People assume successful individuals became arrogant, selfish, fake, or emotionally detached. Sometimes this projection comes from envy. Other times it comes from cognitive dissonance. If someone believes hardworking people never succeed, seeing another person succeed challenges their worldview. To protect their ego, they create negative explanations instead of accepting reality. Success also exposes the dangerous psychology of entitlement. Some people believe they deserve access to your time, energy, resources, and attention simply because they knew you before your success. They feel emotionally entitled to the benefits of your growth without respecting the sacrifices behind it. And when successful individuals establish boundaries, they are often labeled selfish or changed. But boundaries are not cruelty. They are psychological protection. There's another dark truth about human nature. Many people enjoy being around those who are struggling because it makes them feel emotionally superior. But when someone rises above limitations, insecurity appears. This is why people sometimes support your healing until it outgrows them. They support your ambition until it surpasses theirs. They support your confidence until it becomes intimidating. Psychology also shows that humans are emotionally attracted to familiarity. When someone changes dramatically after success, people feel disconnected from the identity they once recognized. Growth changes communication, priorities, habits, routines, energy, and worldview. Some relationships naturally collapse because people no longer psychologically relate to each other the same way. And while this feels painful, it's often a normal consequence of personal evolution. But not everyone changes negatively around success. True emotionally secure individuals become inspired rather than threatened. Emotionally mature people celebrate growth because they do not tie another person's success to their own worth. They understand abundance psychologically. Another person succeeding does not mean they are failing. And this difference reveals emotional intelligence more than almost anything else. One of the strongest lessons success teaches is that admiration and loyalty are not the same thing. Many people admire successful individuals publicly while secretly resenting them privately. Real loyalty exists when someone supports your growth even when it surpasses their own comfort zone. Very few people possess that level of emotional security. There's also the psychological burden of expectations. Once someone becomes successful, society expects constant strength, productivity, confidence, and achievement. Failure becomes more visible. Weakness becomes less acceptable. This pressure creates emotional exhaustion. Many successful individuals become terrified of losing status because human attention is often conditional. People celebrate winners but quickly criticize vulnerability. And maybe the most dangerous thing about success is how easily it can distort identity. When people constantly praise achievement, wealth, influence, beauty, or status, individuals may begin attaching their self-worth entirely to external success. This creates a psychological emptiness because external validation is unstable. The moment success declines, identity collapses with it. This is why emotionally intelligent individuals learn to separate self-worth from public approval. The truth is, success reveals human psychology more than failure ever could. Failure often attracts sympathy. Success attracts comparison, envy, attention, projection, desire, resentment, hidden admiration, emotional insecurity. And understanding this changes the way you see people forever. So if people changed after your success, Don't automatically assume you became unworthy or arrogant. Sometimes your growth simply exposed emotional truths hidden beneath the surface all along. Success forces people to confront themselves. Some become inspired by it. Others become threatened by it. But their reaction often reveals more about their internal world than your external achievements. And maybe the most important thing to understand is this. Real success is not just money, fame, attention, or influence. Real success is maintaining your peace, identity, emotional intelligence, and self-respect while the world around you changes. Because in the end, human psychology will always be complicated. People admire success, but secretly compare themselves to it. They want growth, but fear being left behind. They celebrate winners publicly while battling insecurity privately. And once you truly understand these psychological patterns, you stop taking every emotional change personally, because you realize success doesn't just change your life. It reveals the hidden nature of the people around you.